If game developers built their maps to real-life size, you'd hate it. You'd spend 45 real minutes riding a horse across empty dirt or driving down a highway with nothing on it just to reach your next mission. So instead, they lie to you. They take entire continents, mountains, deserts, cities, rivers, and squeeze them into a space you can cross in minutes. This is fake geography, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. In the real world, this is North America. In a game, this is the entire map, and a player can ride from one end to the other in about 3 minutes. Geography in games is a lie. And today, I'm breaking down exactly how they pull it off.
To understand the trick, you first need to understand the real science they're faking. This is Mount Whitney, and this, just a few dozen miles away, is Death Valley, one of the driest places on Earth. How can two extremes sit so close together? It's called the rain-shadow effect. Moist air hits a mountain and rises. As it rises, it cools, and it dumps all its moisture as rain or snow on one side. By the time that air crosses the peak, it's bone dry, leaving the other side a desert. That's why real mountain ranges create these dramatic splits between lush and barren land. But in reality, this transition can take you driving through hundreds of miles of transitional terrain to fully experience. Now watch what games do with that same idea. In Witcher 3 and Zelda, you can walk from a lush tropical zone into a snowstorm in under 30 seconds. A transition that would take you 3 states and 8 hours to drive in real life happens in 500 meters of virtual dirt. Developers aren't ignoring the science, they're compressing it. They keep the idea of the rain shadow, the feeling of biomes colliding, and just shrink the distance between them to something your thumbs can actually cross. Nowhere is this more obvious than in one specific game. Let's zoom in.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is basically a masterclass in biome compression. Look at the map. Snowy Amberino up here, swampy Lemoyne down here, and dusty New Austin over there. In the real world, these 3 biomes represent Colorado, Louisiana, and Texas, 3 states that are conservatively over 1,000 miles apart. In the game, you can ride your horse between all 3 in about 15 minutes. So how does the game hide the fact that its world is basically the size of a small county? Line of sight. Watch this ridge. It's tall, it's steep, and it's placed exactly where it needs to be, right between 2 biomes that shouldn't logically be neighbors. Because you physically cannot see past it, your brain assumes there's more world on the other side than there actually is. You feel like you crossed a continent, when really, you just went around a hill. This is one of the oldest tricks in open world design. If the player can't see the seam, the player can't question the seam. Every mountain ridge, every canyon wall, every forest that seems a little too conveniently placed, it's not decoration. It's a wall doing its job without ever looking like a wall. RDR2 hides its compression behind rock. GTA 5 hides something else entirely, an entire missing city.
This is Greater Los Angeles from above. It is enormous. Thousands of square miles of suburbs, strip malls, and freeways that all look, frankly, the same. Now here's Los Santos, GTA 5's version of that same city. Notice something? All the famous parts are here. The Vinewood sign, the pier, the skyscraper downtown, but almost none of the boring parts. You can drive from the beach to the mountains to the desert in about 20 real minutes. In real LA, that same drive can take most of a day in traffic, past mile after mile of identical suburban housing. Developers call this selective distillation. They're not trying to recreate a city, they're trying to recreate the highlight reel of a city. Real LA is maybe 5% famous landmarks and 95% ordinary sprawl. GTA 5 flips that ratio almost completely. It keeps the fun 5% and deletes the rest. That's why every corner of a game map feels like it matters, because unlike real geography, nothing in it is filler. It's all been hand-picked. So compression hides distance, and mountains hide seams, and cities hide boredom. But what happens when developers need a hard wall, something you literally cannot cross? That's where they break physics entirely. This is the Colorado River cutting through the Grand Canyon. Real rivers behave predictably. They flow downhill, and smaller rivers merge into bigger ones as they go. It's basic physics. Water doesn't split apart and flow uphill. Except, in a lot of fantasy games, it does exactly that. Look at this river system. It splits into 3 separate branches. Somewhere over here, it appears to flow up a hillside. In the real world, this map would be geologically impossible. So why do game designers keep doing this? Because a river is the perfect excuse to block a player without them getting annoyed. A river feels natural. It feels like part of the world, not a wall put there on purpose, even when it's doing exactly that. Try to cross a deep river in a lot of RPGs, and you'll find your character can't swim across, or gets pulled under, or simply can't climb the far bank. That river isn't there because it makes geological sense. It's there because the designers needed a soft, believable barrier to stop a level 2 character from wandering into a level 50 zone.
Some of this isn't just about geography, it's about hardware. Old consoles couldn't render huge open areas, so developers got creative. This thick fog wasn't an artistic choice, it was a technical bandage. Older hardware could only draw objects a certain distance away, so designers hid that limit behind gray fog that conveniently thickened right where the rendering would have broken. Modern games have a more elegant version of the same trick, winding paths. Notice how so many canyon or corridor sections twist and turn constantly? That's rarely just for looks. Every bend is a chance for the game to quietly delete everything behind you and load what's ahead, all without a loading screen. It's called occlusion culling. If the camera can't see it, the game doesn't bother rendering it. Straight open highways are actually harder to fake than a winding mountain pass. So that beautiful twisting canyon path you just walked through, it's not just scenery, it's a loading screen wearing a costume. Fog, twisting corridors, tall ridges, compressed biomes, fake rivers, none of it is an accident. Every open world you've ever played was built on some version of these 4 tricks.
So, the next time you're riding across a game map, watching a desert turn into snow in under a minute, or getting blocked by a suspiciously convenient river, you'll know exactly what's happening. It's not bad design, it's the opposite. It's developers doing everything they can to give you the feeling of an enormous real world without ever making you sit through the boring parts of an actual road trip. Geography in games isn't real, it's a magic trick. And now you know how it's done. Which game map has felt the most real to you? Drop it in the comments, I read every single one. And if you liked pulling back the curtain on how these worlds are built, subscribe, because next time we're breaking down something even bigger.
See you in the next one.